Hello, fellow inspired souls. Welcome to the 40 Inspiring Quotes on Wealth. Think about this as you carry on with your daily activities. And listen to this every day. I hope you will be inspired to do more. If you make a sale, you can make a living. If you make an investment of time and good service in a customer, you can make a fortune. Jim Rohn. Be studious in your profession, and you will be learned. Be industrious and frugal, and you will be rich. Be sober and temperate, and you will be healthy. Be in general virtuous, and you will be happy. At least, you will, by such conduct, stand the best chance for such consequences. Benjamin Franklin. Wealth is not his who has it, but is who enjoys it. Benjamin Franklin. The trouble for most people is they don't Euro trademark tea decide to get wealthy, they just dream about it. Michael Masterson. The advantage of a classical education is that it enables you to despise the wealth that it prevents you from achieving. Russell Green. If your only goal is to become rich, you will never achieve it. John Rockefeller. The way to wealth, if you desire it, is as plain as the way to market. It depends chiefly on two words, industry and frugality, i.e., waste neither time nor money, but make the best use of both. He that gets all he can honestly, and saves all he gets, necessary expenses excepted, will certainly become rich. Benjamin Franklin. The trouble for most people is they don't decide to get wealthy, they just dream about it. Michael Masterson. If you see yourself as prosperous, you will be. If you see yourself as continually destitute, that is exactly what you will be. Robert Collier. Kids ought to have two bicycles, one to ride and one to rent. Jim Rohn. I have no complex about wealth. I have worked hard for my money, producing things people need. I believe that the able industrial leader who creates wealth and employment is more worthy of historical notice than politicians or soldiers. J. Paul Getty. If we fasten our attention on what we have, rather than on what we lack, a very little wealth is sufficient. Francis Johnson. Surplus wealth is a sacred trust which its possessor is bound to administer in his lifetime for the good of the community. Andrew Carnegie. If we fasten our attention on what we have, rather than on what we lack, a very little wealth is sufficient. Francis Johnson. The ascending spiral of greatness in America has risen because industry has produced wealth, which in turn has supported educational institutions, which in turn have supplied leadership to industry in order that with each succeeding generation it might produce more wealth. Wallace Bennett. The gratification of wealth is not found in mere possession or in lavish expenditure, but in its wise application. Miguel de Cervantes. The old thought that one cannot be rich except at the expense of his neighbor must pass away. True prosperity adds to the richness of the whole world, such as that of the man who makes two trees grow where only one grew before. The parasitical belief in prosperity as coming by the sacrifices of others has no place in the mind that thinks true. My benefit is your benefit, your success is my success, should be the basis of all our wealth. N. Miltz. Wealth is a means to an end, not the end itself. As a synonym for health and happiness, it has had a fair trial and failed dismally. John Galsworthy. Wealth is not in making money, but in making the man while he is making money. Production, not destruction, leads to success. John Wicker. It's good to have money and the things that money can buy, but it's good, too, to check up once in a while and make sure you haven't lost the things that money can't buy. George Horace Lorimer. Wealth is the product of industry, ambition, character, and untiring effort. Calvin Coolidge. So long as wealth is made the means and not the end, we need not greatly fear it. Calvin Coolidge. Why is one man richer than another? Because he is more industrious, more persevering, and more sagacious. John Ruskin. Money is plentiful for those who understand the simple laws which govern its acquisition. George Clason. When wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. When character is lost, all is lost. Billy Graham. Entrusting the government or an employer, other than yourself, with your retirement income is like hiring a compulsive gambler as your accountant. Dennis Waitley. If you will use what you have, you will be given more to use. Zig Ziglar. If we command our wealth, we shall be rich and free. If our wealth commands us, we are poor indeed. Edmund Burke. The most expensive piece of real estate is the 6 inches between your right and left ear. It's what you create in that area that determines your wealth. We are only really limited by our mind. Dolph de Roos. It is in spending oneself that one becomes rich. Sarah Bernhard. Material success may result in the accumulation of possessions, but only spiritual success will enable you to enjoy them. Nido Cubian. Truth is, money does no euro trademark T make you happy or a nice person, it just means you have the means to live the life you want. What kind of life is up to you, and they do euro trademark S, where some people crash and burn. They get money, but they don't euro trademark T have a clue about being a good person, so they just make themselves and everyone around them miserable. Phil Town. What difference does it make how much there is laid away in a man's safe or in his barns, how many head of stock he grazes, or how much capital he puts out at interest, if he is always after what is another's and only counts what he is yet to get, never what he is already? You ask, what is the proper limit to a person's wealth? First, having what is essential, and second, having what is enough. Seneca. No man can tell whether he is rich or poor by turning to his ledger. It is the heart that makes a man rich. He is rich according to what he is, not according to what he has. Henry Ward Beecher. We must teach our children not to spend their money $1 at a time. If you spend your money $1 at a time, you'll wind up with trinkets instead of treasures. You can't buy much of value $1 at a time. Jim Rohn. People with a scarcity mentality think there is only so much in the world to go around. It's as if they see life as a pie. When another person gets a big piece, then they get less. Such people are always trying to get even, to pull others down to their level so they can get an equal or even bigger piece of the pie. Stephen Covey. The strongest bond of human sympathy outside the family relation should be one uniting all working people of all nations and tongues and kindreds. Nor should this lead us to a war on property, or the owners of property